the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on a Tuesday morning. We are glad that you have joined us wherever and whenever it is that you tune us in each and every day and make an Auburn Blitz part of your daily Auburn athletic intake. Brett and Faith here on a Tuesday morning on a recorded pod. So, as always, you can get your comments in. You can get your predictions in for the Iron Bowl on Saturday. We just won't be talking back to you, so don't think we're being rude and ignoring you, okay? We just want to make sure you know that. So we will be going back through and looking for your predictions and also make sure you get them in, but we won't be able to interact with you this morning because we recorded this last night. So good to see you.
For being the penalties for Auburn.
Total penalties for Auburn. Correct. So score prediction, tiebreaker penalties for Auburn. Faith, good to see you. It feels like, well, it was literally just a few hours ago in real time. So, but it's morning for everybody. And, hey, be safe out there on the road today. Some bad weather going through the state. So make sure you're safe wherever it is that you're driving. And then temperature's going to drop a little bit. So you don't like the weather the way it is, just wait 24 hours in Alabama. It will change. So we were out shooting a show yesterday and it was 80 degrees and it felt like May. Felt like the kids were getting out of school time to get out of school, not Thanksgiving. So it's just odd weather that we're having. And then, of course, Friday, it looks like it's going to be cold. Iron Bowl is going to be chilly. It's not going to be like bone chilling cold. It's going to be chilly. So, but it's supposed to be that way in late November. That's supposed to be a little bit cold. But we will talk about the Iron Bowl this morning as it's just a few days away now. And, you know, a lot riding on it for Alabama, a playoff spot. If they don't win the game, they're probably out for the second consecutive year. On the flip side, for Auburn, a bowl game's on the line. I mean, so and something to salvage out of the season, which has been very painful. Let's just be honest about it. And the way this schedule has gone down for Auburn, and so many woulda, coulda, shouldas, and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a lot to digest, and it's a night game, Faith, and it's always interesting at night.
Yeah, always. I mean, you really don't know what could happen. Now, this is going to feel like it is literally the middle of the night because with it being a late game and how dark it gets, it feels like it could literally be 12 o'clock, but it'll be about 12 when we get out, Brett. So that will be, you know.
And then we'll have a show to do.
Then we will have a show to do. So everyone tune into that because the late ones are always so much fun. They get a little crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be the atmosphere, even on this past Saturday, that obviously the stadium wasn't filled for a 1 o'clock Mercer game. The atmosphere was still great. I mean, I think there was a good turnout. The energy, I know my parents said when they left that it feels so much better to leave and walk out from a win than it does a loss. And the entire town is just happier. And
hadn't happened very much, but it did feel nice. And then, you know, maybe that can happen again Saturday. We'll see how it plays out. A little bulletin board material, maybe. You know, here's the thing about the Iron Bowl, and it's a rivalry. It's probably the best rivalry in college football. I know Michigan and Ohio State say Florida State. Everybody's got their, but you know, the Iron Bowl and just the way this rivalry is, I know we're biased down here in Alabama, but that's just how we feel. And a lot of people feel that way. And, you know, you can argue that Army Navy's, and it is, that's a very prestigious classic game, but what are you doing?
I'm not really sure what's going on over here. I mean, we're playing like Ring Around the Rosie.
Okay, I didn't know. You were like scanning, and I was like, well, there's Lucy. So everybody that wanted a cameo appearance from her, there she is, wearing her Auburn scarf. So see, she's all good to go.
She is. She's ready.
So, but going back to the rivalry, it's usually a clean game. I mean, it's intense. But you don't see the fights that break. I know last year it kind of got into a little bit of scuffle. And
You know what, though? Ever since Nick Saban has been gone, that's when you've seen a little bit more of
yep,
chippiness. So, and I just think that's because Nick Saban would have somebody if
right.
there was any sort of
But
fight
historically,
or
you think about how bitter this rivalry is and all, but historically, this is a clean game,
Mhm.
and both teams respect each other. And after the game, you see both teams mingling with each other. I mean, you see guys taking pictures with each other on like they went to
a lot of
school
NC
together,
guys.
they played together, they played
Yeah.
against each other in high school. So the fans really take it to the next level, but it really is not one of these dirty, ugly games on the field where you got a bunch of personal fouls and you got a bunch of tacky stuff going on. I mean, they both teams play hard, both teams want to win the game, both teams try to knock your head off, but that's football. And that's the thing about this rivalry that you look at and the bragging rights. And still, college football has changed a lot, and it's not the same as it was 25 years ago. But when this game rolls around, it still means a lot to the people in this state and to both teams, no matter what the records are.
Yeah, and talking about the smack talk that has been surfacing right now. I mean, Jeremy Bernard went on the next round and said that why can't we go out there and blow them out like we did last year? And I mean, friendly smack talk, but
I watched the whole thing, and that was creative by next round to just clip that part out and post it, because then everybody just reads that. And he went on to say, I'm not saying they're not a good team. He said they are a good team. I think he maybe said they're a great team. He said that's had some issues this year. Things ain't gone their way. And he goes, basically, our coach tells us we don't have to go out and play to our competition. We don't have to keep things close. Why can't we just go out and execute and try to be who we are? I mean, he did say it, but it wasn't just, oh, why don't we just we're about to go down there and blow their doors off. I mean, it wasn't that. It was made to be a little bit probably more than it was. But hey, at any point in time in this rivalry, both sides are looking for anything to grab.
yeah,
Last year it was DeMarcus Riddick, remember?
Oh my God.
Saying he Jalen Milroe wasn't going to get by him, wasn't going to score any touchdowns. And Jalen Milroe scored 2 touchdowns, maybe 3, and maybe ran for 3. And it's like, okay, maybe don't say that anymore. It's like
I forgot about that. That feels like 100 years ago.
It does, and it's just now 12 months ago. So, I think. All right, and so here's another thing. Normally today's our practice day. Normally you and I would be at football practice today. Not going to happen this week. Don't have access to anything. And that's crazy. We'll talk about some quotes from Coach Durkin from the press conference today. We'll go through some of those here in just a little bit, but for the most part, Faith, it was these two teams, they're going to go out and they're going to play hard. They're going to get after one another. And I expect it to be a good football game. I really do. I think when you look at it from a standpoint of, what Auburn's done the last 2 games offensively, and then you see kind of what Alabama's done offensively, it's kind of tailed off a little bit. And, but Auburn's defense has kind of tailed off a little bit. So there's a lot of unknowns in this game. And, the point spread started at 6.5 and then it dropped to 5.5. So the brokers out there, the Vegas, they think it's going to be a close game.
It's always a tough game. It doesn't matter how good or how bad one of the teams is or how both of the teams are. It's always going to be a close game. We've seen really pitiful Auburn teams go out there and really give them a run for their money and play their best football at that last game. And you really see them play the entirety of the game. Now, it is It is a really good week always because they don't have school. Everyone's off of school. So you
Right.
really have the time to sit there and focus on what's going on. It gives you more time to study film, study up on Alabama. And you've got a lot more film on Alabama than they do on Auburn's offense.
Right. Right. Exactly. And I think, when you look at it from a standpoint of you didn't see Ashton Daniels play in the Mercer game. They only have that Vanderbilt game with Ashton Daniels. I mean, they got the second half of the Arkansas game, and they nothing to look at that Kentucky game. I mean, that's trash. You won't be literally trash. Like no doubt trash. Like there's nothing that Alabama can look at from that to really gain any kind of advantage because that was pathetic. But you do have the Vanderbilt game where Derek Nick's calling the plays. That's going to be more beneficial for them. But that's really it. And then you got what you see with Deuce Knight and how much is Deuce Knight going to play and will he play and what will his role be? I mean, Alabama's going to have to adjust on the fly. And that's going to be another, hey, look, say what you want, an advantage there for Auburn. They don't have a lot that they're going to be able to show, to Alabama for them to be preparing for.
Yeah, that's something that I think with this Auburn team, you've got to take the wins as much as you can. And it's a win for us, for Auburn, for Alabama not having a bunch of footage on Auburn. And, that's a win within itself right there. I think too, the defense needs to step out more than it has the last two games.
Yep.
I think you and I both have said that it looks like it's maybe taken a few steps back, or they just play down to whatever team they're playing. Like they played down to Mercer's offense.
Right. And, they adjusted, got better. And Auburn has scored 107 points in the last two games since Hugh Freeze exited. 107 points. And you take the Vanderbilt game and the Mercer game, add them together. I mean, it's amazing. 100 points and over 1,000 yards of offense in two games. Like two completely different teams than what we saw majority of the year. It's unbelievable how inept that was. All right, so some quotes from Coach Durkin. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of our partners here on the program, and then we'll come back and tell everybody, if you haven't heard or seen, a few things that Coach Durkin said yesterday at the press conference.
Sensagreen for air that's cool and clean this fall during dollar days. Call Sensagreen for major discounts on HVAC repairs and installs, plus insulation with Professor Greenbacks. Get HVAC smart at sensagreen.com through Thanksgiving with up to $100 off HVAC repairs, $500 off insulation work, and $1,500 off a new HVAC system. Sensagreen with Carrier, turn to the experts. How cool are these coupons?
Scout Program Management is a full construction management firm, and they are located in Birmingham, Alabama. Go check them out on the web. Go check them out on Facebook. Scout Program Management, you can see all their different drone footage, videos of all their projects and from start to finish. And they really are the company that you have to hire when you got a multi-million-dollar or hundreds of thousands of dollars that you're pouring into a project. You want it done correctly. You don't want to have to come back and redo things. That's what Scout Program Management does from the start, the planning phase, all the way to the time you get the keys to the facility. They're going to walk you all the way through it. And they're going to make sure it's done correctly. So that's why you go get a program management company, and that's why you should hire Scout Program Management.
Bunkers in downtown Auburn. If you're not going to be able to go to the Iron Bowl, you might as well go to Bunkers. It's going to be the best place for you to go. They've got lots of seating, great happy hour deals, great deals over the weekend in general. And they've got a bunch of sports playing all the time, food, music, and fun at Bunkers in downtown Auburn with 50 parking spaces. I mean, I can't suggest where else you should go for the football game on Friday or on Saturday.
Yeah, I can't either. Hey, I was thinking, thank goodness, there for a few years, every once in a while, the Iron Bowl was played on a Friday after Thanksgiving. That would have put us in a bind. this year with the semifinal game, and then that would have really been tough. I would have been glad we don't have to worry about that. So, all right. So some things that Coach Durkin said. First things first, when you and I were thinking about and talking about Keldrick Faulk yesterday, he was asked about his availability. He said he'll be ready to go. Got dinged up a little bit. We were at a point in the game where he didn't need to keep playing in that game based on the situation. So he came back in, after he went out in the first quarter, came back in, but there was no need for him to be out there. They kind of made an analysis of him. I think it was a hip pointer, Faith, pretty much, and but going to be ready to go. And then, of course, on injured players, the status of injured players, he said no concerns. We have a couple of guys banged up. Obviously, one of them, Keldrick Faulk, one of them, Jeremiah Cobb, apparently, as we saw. He said, but I think everyone will be good as we go through our usual week right now. So that's good news.
Yeah, it is good news. This is kind of that part of the season where people are kind of injured. They've gone through the whole season, and now takes a toll on your body. So it's good to know that all these guys are going to be just fine for Saturday.
Right. On balancing head coaching duties with running the defense, that's been the question. And for Vanderbilt, didn't really stop Vanderbilt. Didn't look good in the first quarter against Mercer. He said, as we've gotten further removed from when it first happened, it slowed down for me like anything else. When you start something new, there are a lot of things coming at you to get set in place in the first week. Everyone wants to come talk to you about whatever their area is. It's a lot of conversations and decisions that distract from other things. As we keep getting further and further from that moment, things kind of slow down. People understand how we want things done, and it allows me to get back to being more of the defensive coordinator and going through game plans and making a lot of those decisions. And again, I think that is a fair statement, and it was obvious, in the preparation for Vanderbilt, it affected him. And he said it in the post game. He said, there were a couple things I wished I'd have been more involved in that game, and some decision making that I didn't get a chance to do that's learning and trying to balance all this. But he's going to need to be as dialed in as ever on Saturday from a defensive coordinator standpoint.
Yeah, and he even went on and talked about how the defense is going to have to adjust with Ty Simpson and how Ty is going to run the offense for Alabama. And, it's Ty is able to kind of do a bunch of different things, and that's what he said. He said he's a good playmaker, and he can make throws. You see him push the ball down the field. They have a lot of vertical route concepts. He can get it where it needs to be. It's definitely a challenge, our toughest challenge, I think, of the year. And so I don't think anyone's surprised with that. But if you would have asked about our defense while Hugh Freeze was head coach, you'd probably say that defense could really hang.
Right.
Obviously, with him taking a few steps back with being the interim head coach, I don't feel as confident.
Right.
But I don't know. What do you think?
No, I'm with you. That's kind of what we've been talking about, and he's pretty much come out and said, yeah, there's things that as we get further down the line, I'm getting more back in the rhythm of doing things as the D coordinator. About Alabama's offense, Ty Simpson obviously is the straw that stirs the drink. Their running game is not good. It hasn't been good all year. And his main target's Jeremy Bernard. Again, don't know what's going on with Ryan Williams. He's really been a non-factor majority of the year. And he loves to target Jeremy Bernard. And I get it. Some guys know how to get open. Eric Singleton for Auburn. It's just like, how does he always find a place and separate? Well, he just knows how to run routes and knows how to get off defenders, and so does Jeremy Bernard. And so Ty Simpson really looks for him and really has a comfort zone with him.
Yeah, that's what I think is honestly going to be what is going to It's going to be Auburn's toughest challenge just because this team has so many talented guys. And I think, in some of these games that Auburn's played against, they have one or two guys that are really, really talented. But I mean, this Alabama team obviously is stacked with a bunch of really competitive athletes. And so
They've been in a lot of very close games, just like Auburn has.
yeah,
They found ways to win most of them. That's the difference. They found ways to make a throw against Missouri. We didn't. Okay. They found a way to make a play against South Carolina late in the game. They didn't against Oklahoma. And hey, look.
but it's not like we did either against.
Well, we didn't. And that's kind of my point. I mean, it's like they're very similar in the fact that they've been in a lot of close games, but they've won a majority of theirs. And so I know Alabama fans are a little bit antsy right now. Todd didn't, it doesn't seem like he's been playing as good, and there's more pressure on him because the running game's not that good. And if Auburn can continue to be stingy against the run like they've been with most everybody this year, it's going to put even more pressure on Ty Simpson. And if Auburn can get pressure, and teams like Oklahoma and other teams like South Carolina that were able to get pressure on him, he makes mistakes, just like most quarterbacks do when they're under pressure.
Yeah, Coach Durkin said that they have a really good offensive line. And so that's also going to be something that helps Ty not get in those flustered moments. But, he said
– It hadn't been as good lately. I'll say that.
Yeah.
You got to look at Oklahoma and some of the other games. It's been kind of regressing a little bit, which is good.
Yeah, he said they do a good job of moving their stretch, getting on the perimeter. So you have to make sure that you can do both, stop the run and defend the pass. I don't think they're a one-dimensional team. And I think he's right. But earlier he said that they're going to count on their run game as perimeter screens and quick passes to the receivers, just like you were talking about how Jeremy Bernard, you got to let him go and make the play himself in some of those situations.
Right.
He's fast. He's talented.
And he's going to make plays. So just can't let him burn you. All right. Is this a shot, kind of offhanded shot at Hugh Freeze here? I know Coach Durkin's not doing that intentionally, but on Ashton Daniels' improvement from Kentucky to Vanderbilt, I think it was just about providing him with a plan that he could have confidence in. We wanted to build it around him. I feel like his teammates respond well to him in leadership and what he does. To me, right out of the gate, I'm like, okay, what's the difference? Why has he improved so much from Kentucky to Vanderbilt? Well, it was just providing him with a plan he could execute.
But that's the thing is Coach Freeze, every single freaking time, it was like, we didn't put them in the right situation. Well, then you didn't do it for the first 8 freaking weeks. I mean, seriously, are you are you confused? Because I'm confused. So if this is finally making a difference of putting your kids into the right situation.
It's amazing what happens when you do that. 100-plus points, 1,000 yards in those 2 games? It's amazing.
It's actually crazy. And again, part of that is I wonder if, Jackson Arnold, I don't think was the answer to all of Auburn's problems, obviously. But imagine if you had put him in situations that, he was more comfortable in, like the Baylor game.
Right.
Being the one and only. But still, you saw what he was able to do then. We just read off yesterday's stats where Deuce Knight and Jackson Arnold were, 2 of the first quarterbacks in Auburn history to, make 100-plus yards rushing on their first starting quarterback debut.
That's it.
So,
right.
It's
not like the guy's not talented. It was obviously the whole thing was a garbled.
I just think now, obviously, we know his ship has sailed.
A garbled miss. Really, all I can tell you, a garbled miss. All right, Sylvester Smith will be missing the first half due to the targeting. He was asked about that. Said just going through the reps today at practice, you have to manage those reps now and understand he's doing what's he doing during the first half? What's he doing at halftime to get him ready to play? We're going through all of that. Obviously, I feel for him because the game is so important to him personally, but he'll still get to play in it. Thought that hit was close. It was kind of bang, bang. I see why it was called. I definitely see why it was called. You did too. We both agreed it was targeting. To me, it was textbook targeting. And I looked at you. I said, well, that's it for him. He won't be in the first half of the Iron Bowl. So tough deal. Somebody else is going to have to step up. And, Auburn does have a lot of depth and that's something they've been able to rely on all year. And we knew that going into the season that Auburn had depth in the secondary.
And too, I think it also goes along with some of these young guys have been
camera hog.
I literally have been able to get out there and have some moments of getting some good time in and getting some good reps in. I don't even remember which home game it was at, but it might have been Georgia or something where Hugh Freeze was asked about putting in a lot of those younger guys. And I think that gives them really good reps and time of, all right, this is the Iron Bowl. This is a different game than some of the other ones that they've had time in. But the Georgia game was also a big game like that where they kind of were able to feel some of the pressure and some of the, I don't know, those kind of things.
Yeah, you froze on me for like 5 seconds, so I didn't hear the last part of that. So I don't really know what it was that you said. It just like I thought you went away there for a second. So I was like, oh, something happened, but you're back. So that's all that matters. So I agree with you, whatever it is that you I just agree with you. So yeah, I think when you look at it, and we'll talk more about it moving through the rest of the week. And, kind of our schedule, we won't obviously be live on Thursday, which is Thanksgiving. More than likely, we'll do a live in the morning. I know you won't be on in the morning. On Wednesday morning. I'm off here. So that will actually be tomorrow morning because this is airing on Tuesday. I'm trying to get all this stuff straight. So, but we'll talk more about that in depth as we get closer to the game on Saturday. We also do want to remind everybody we will be doing the post-game reaction show like we have every week, every single Saturday after every game. We'll be bringing
you by Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine.
That's right.
Love that.
It's been the constant that allows us to smile every Saturday, regardless of the outcome, right?
And you just put in your Thanksgiving order today.
I did.
So
turkey and ham, got a lot of stuff. I mean, everybody, why would you not make sure your meal is good? Like, and I know a lot of you out there, like, I love to cook too. I love to grill. I love to do all that stuff. But, when it comes to a big family deal like this and you got a lot of people coming in, sometimes you just go to the experts. And Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine, they're the experts.
They're the experts. So you got to go to.
So you can still get your orders in too. You don't have much time, but you can still get your orders in for Thanksgiving, and your family will be extremely happy. I can tell you that. All right, let's talk about some more of our partners here before we roll off here on this Tuesday morning. Again, we appreciate all of them so very much. The Cart Source in Dadeville, Alabama, and talked to Harrison yesterday afternoon, and they're doing really good and very appreciative of everybody coming by. And it is getting close to Christmas. And if you're just sitting there thinking about, hey, man, this would be yes, it is a great idea to go find you a golf cart. If you're riding around in your neighborhood, or if you need it for your farm or your hunting land or whatever, they got all different types of tires they can put on there. They can custom make it for you. Easy Go, Cushman, Yamaha, Club Cart, all of you out there know those are the top of the line. They're the best in the business. And if they don't have what you want on the lot, they'll order it for you. So you got to get by there and make sure you have enough time to get it ordered to get it in. So Alabama's premier golf cart superstore, call them 334-231-2205, or better yet, go down there and see them, see Harrison, tell them Auburn Blitz sent you.
Oliver Ross, for all of your holiday work events or any of your holiday parties, go ahead and call on Oliver Ross to be the bartending service for you. I mean, they're licensed professional bartenders. I don't know what more you could want from some bartending service, but I can guarantee that they're going to make sure that you and all of your guests have a great night. And, they're going to go in there, clean up after themselves. And that right there sells it for me, because I can guarantee I would not want to clean up all that stuff after having a holiday party. So they will do 20 people up to 20,000 people. And I mean, if 20,000 people, that probably is going to be so much fun. But you can count on Oliver Ross to be the bartending service for you. So call on them.
Yep, it's time to do that. And Russell Medical Center, one of the top 3 hospitals in the state of Alabama. And again, I know, Faith, you can personally attest, sometimes you have to drive to big cities and fight all that mess. You can go right to Russell Medical Center. They've got the doctors, the facilities that you need. They're partnered with UAB Health. And again, I don't know if there's a better healthcare network in the entire world than UAB Health. And we're also blessed to have that here in the state of Alabama. So Russell Medical Center, proud partners with them. Check them out in Alexander City for top-notch healthcare. And again, there's no price to put on your health. That's for sure. Nothing else matters in life if you don't have good health. So go check them out there. Okay, just kind of closing out. We will talk more, obviously, about the Iron Bowl. Any more updates that we hear on the coaching search front, we will pass along to everybody out there. There's really not much to add based off what we talked about yesterday. I think that's just kind of where it sits right now. Can there be a curveball at the last minute? Absolutely. There's some crazy things going to be able to potentially go down this week. We'll be finding out more information. I know Josh Pate said something about, tweeted out, I know where Lane Kiffin will be in 2026, and all I can say is wow. I mean, that's just clicks. That didn't give you anything. That's one of those things like, why the hell did you even say that? Why did you tweet that? Just to see everybody go crazy. So you provided no context or anything to it. So that's just the world of social media. But again, there'll be an announcement on Saturday after the Egg Bowl, on Friday, on Lane Kiffin's future.
It's going to be exciting. I mean, I know I'm excited.
I was going to say, I know you'll be watching attentively.
I will be ready to hear it, because I will be planning my trip immediately. I already know where we're going.
There you go. You've already got it in the bag. So let's see if a curve, maybe, and then that'll be about the time he comes out and goes, well, Lane Kiffin's not going anywhere. We just signed a 7-year extension and all's good. And you're going to go.
I'm going to say, all right, time for you to pick the trip.
That's it. Time for you to go where you want to go. So, all right. So, yeah, we'll keep everybody posted on that. So, we'll also have more information on basketball. Basketball taking place right now in Las Vegas as we are getting off of this podcast. There's 6 minutes to go in the game, and Auburn's up 68-59. Tahad Pettiford's having a much better game. Welcome back, Tahad. 20 points, 8 of 17 shooting, but still struggling from outside, 1 of 5 from the 3. Keyshawn Hall, good to see him back off the injury. 13 points, 4 of 12, struggling a little bit too. Auburn's still struggling from outside, 4 of 21 shooting the 3 ball. The only good thing about it is Oregon's not very good either. They have turned the ball over a ton. But they have shot it better from outside. They are 8 of 26 right now. Really, the only thing keeping them from getting their doors blown off by Auburn right now is they've been able to hit the 3 from outside. So there is 6 minutes left as we are about to get off this podcast here. Again, obviously, when you see this in the morning, the game will be final, and hopefully Auburn will have hung on to win the game. So we'll talk more about that. And then as you are watching, they have another game tonight against Michigan. Yeah. So just a lot of things feel like I'm in Back to the Future here. Talking about yesterday, tomorrow, while we're in the present.
Tuesday all day, actually.
Actually, yeah, whatever. It's just another day, right? Just another day. So
yes.
All right, Faith, we will continue to give everybody updates as we move along throughout the rest of the week. I'll let you send us out.
Hope everyone has the best day ever.
Absolutely. And working your way through Thanksgiving week. I know a lot of people will be taking the rest of the week off, spend some fun and relaxing time with your families. All this Black Friday stuff, y'all have it. Y'all can get into all that stuff. I'm good right where I am. Y'all.
I'm waiting for Cyber Monday so I can just online shop.
So many other people are doing the same thing. So.
Yeah. No thanks.
However you want to go get your deals, go get them out there. So, but anyway, everybody have fun today. Be nice to people, and we will see you